I want to talk about the work we do at Algomi Consulting. So I described us as a management consultancy company in asset management, and that's exactly what we're doing. We work with organizations and we help them effect change, strategic change, operational change, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
But why do we believe very, very strongly that we need to do it? Because some things needs changing in our industry, which is a wonderful industry. It's an industry that takes care of capital that is entrusted to us by individual investors. This capital is channeled through institutional investors or directly by individuals, and we make the capital work. And we make the capital work increasingly in a fashion that supports sustainability. So that's wonderful. But we believe very strongly in our firm that there are some changes that need to be made in the way the industry is run.
Mm-hmm.
There is changes in the perception of how money is being managed. There
Mm-hmm.
is a change in the way outcome to investors needs to be put forward as opposed to making the right trade that makes money. There is changes that need to be made in terms of transparency on what happens with the money we invest, on the fees we take, on
Mm-hmm.
the outcome of the investments. There is transparency that needs to be brought in terms of how the firms and the organizations are governed. And there is a number of changes that needs to be done in terms of diversity and inclusion in the organizations themselves. I was looking and reading, there's a number of articles coming out in the press between yesterday and today on ESG in the investment industry, because a set of regulations are kicking in yesterday that forces investment management companies to do more disclosure on the ESG aspect of the product they manage, which is one thing. And I was thinking, reading those articles, it's interesting because I'm not sure there is anything that forces us as investment management company to disclose how we behave in an ESG fashion as organizations. And it's a little bit that the change that we want to effect through the work we're doing at Algomi Consulting.
Make change, just go be a part of it.
I would, to keep myself sane, I think I would go back to the framework I presented earlier on, which is maybe this pandemic has brought people back in the person box.
Mm-hmm.
It's been about surviving as a person, surviving the lockdown, the difficulty of being locked down, which means no contact, no social, surviving the pandemic in itself, which is try not to be sick. And if you get sick, take care of yourself, and maybe we have spent, and we are still going to spend a lot of time in the person box over the next few months. But I do have hope that once we've recovered from that, I hear the experience of people who got the vaccine. What I hear from them is the relief that they feel. Whatever it feels, it's a relief, and it could move them from, okay, now I can look away from just me as a person and go back into looking at my role in the organization and the system. Maybe we'll have to be a little bit patient and move people, and people will be able to move back into the role, changing things, having an impact, etc., etc. That's where I stay hopeful.
Listen, as far as being locked down and freedom, I mean, no comment. That's all I'm going to say on that. No comment. But I agree with you, and I see your point that we have become definite. I think it's a difficult one, because I think we have become individualistic on the one hand, because you're thinking about your sanity and self-preservation. But on the other hand, I think that this has been a great time to reach out to other people and create a sense of, albeit virtual, a sense of community, and, having that feeling of being around game changers, but also challenging what you thought you knew. And also, I mean, if we went back to last year this time, would you and I have been sitting down having this conversation as to how we can channel our talent and how we're making an impact and, you know, how we see the world? No, we wouldn't have. But I think that's been born out of the fact that we have all been in this situation together, and at a certain point you gravitate to those who think like you, who have the same desires as you, although it may be expressed in a different way.
Yeah.
I love this comment's especially for you.
Oh, that's very kind. We don't have a copyright on this framework, so please feel free to use it.